today I'll be doing a review and test video on this controller adapter. That's for you could use it on a Nintendo Switch. I think that's what NS is. P3 is PlayStation 3 and a PC, so I'll be testing it on a PlayStation 3 and a PC. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so I won't be testing it on that. So it claims that it will work for, it could use a PlayStation 3 controller, PlayStation 4 controller, Xbox One S, Xbox One, a joypad, P5 controller, NSW Pro, WU Pro. But what I have tested it on was a PlayStation 3 controller and a PlayStation 4 controller, which I will be doing. So this is the box for it. It comes with an instruction manual, as you can see right here. Tells you what it's compatible with and everything. Instructions. What the switches mean and everything. PS3. We got 3 modules. PS3, PC, and NS. That means Nintendo Switch. Which shows right there. NS is Nintendo Switch. USB-A mail. Everything else, we don't have to look at all the instructions to get to be able to use this. It's quite simple to use. It's just plug and play as it stated on the box. Plug and play. So the way you use it is quite simple. You just plug this into your PlayStation 3, the USB port, and you just plug in another cable via USB, micro USB cable to your PlayStation 4 controller. Just like that. Connected in like that. Just connect it to your PlayStation 3 or your PC, and I'll show you this later. And first it says you should connect the controller with a micro USB cable to your controller. You could also use it on a PlayStation 3 controller and use this cable and connect it to your PlayStation 3 controller, and you could use this on your PC. Usually you can't use a PlayStation 3 controller on a PC, but with the adapter you should be able to do it. And make sure you select it to the right device. If you're using a PlayStation 3, select PS3. If you're using a PC, select PC like that, and then just connect it. To use the USB Bluetooth, it's quite simple. After you connect it with the cable, you can unhook the cable, and you could just press this button that you see here, and it should blink really fast. Just press it for about 5 or 6 seconds. Keep it pressed, release it, and then this thing should be blinking really fast. And I'll show you how to do that later as well. So to connect the PlayStation 4 controller, you press share and PlayStation button together. Keep it pressed for a few seconds, release it, and it should just pair to your controller adapter. If you want to use the PlayStation 3, After you connect it to your computer, press the PlayStation button here. Keep it pressed. First press this button for about 5 or 6 seconds, and keep this pressed for about a few seconds, and it should just pair. So that's all you have to do, and I'll show you for each one. Okay, so right now I have my PlayStation 4 controller, which you see right here, connected to my PlayStation 3, which you can see right there. I put the controller adapter in my PlayStation. I connected the other other USB cable with a micro USB cable to my PlayStation 4 controller, which you see right here. Right now it's working. So when I press this PlayStation button, you can see that there's a turn off thing. So now I could fully use my PlayStation 4 controller like my PlayStation 3 controller. Before, I wasn't able to do that. And I could play games like Gran Turismo without a problem. So if I don't want to use the wired connection, I could do that. Very simple. All I have to do is disconnect it. Like so. And what I have to do is I need to press, zoom that in. There's a little button here. Press that for 5 seconds. And you see that light that's flashing. So what I do now is take this controller and press the share button and the PlayStation button at the same time. Keep it pressed. And then release it. And now the light is solid. That means the controller is connected via Bluetooth, and it should work. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to play Gran Turismo now. I'm using this controller now to move around. Before, I wasn't able to use the R2 and L2 buttons, which you see right here, the trigger buttons. These two buttons didn't work. This and that. Now all the buttons work, including the PlayStation button, which I can use to turn off the PlayStation as well. Before, this game didn't work with the PlayStation 4 controller. I wasn't able to do anything. Now it's playable. So on the controller, you can see it's blue light. That means it's connected via Bluetooth. And the rumble pack also works on the PlayStation 4 controller. So if I want to quit, I can press the PlayStation button and quit. Just like that. So everything is working pretty good. You could use this on a Nintendo Switch and also on a PC, which I will be doing next. I'm going to shut it off with the PlayStation button. Okay. Right now I have my PlayStation 3 controller connected to my computer, and you see that the light is beeping like that, blinking, or the LED is blinking, which means it's connected. And also on my PlayStation 3 controller, you could see this LED, which is solid. That means it's connected, so it should work. I'm going to test it out right now. So what I'm going to do is input the controls. I already did it, but so it is working. Right now I'm using the PlayStation 3 controller to play this game. So all the buttons are working. That's it. So now I'm going to disconnect it from the USB port, and it should work now. You could see the LED, which is right here. It's solid blue, which means it's connected. And this controller is solid red. So the controller is connected and it should work. To pair it, you just press the button. It should just blink at a very high frequency, and you just press the PlayStation button right there for about 5 seconds, and it should pair when you do it the first time. So after that, it should just work automatically. I'm using the controller without a wired connection, as you can see. You can't hear the sound because I have a headphone connected to this computer, so that's why you can't hear any sound. Okay, that's it. So the wireless works, the Bluetooth works, the wired connection works, PlayStation 3 controller does work with that controller adapter. Okay, so now I connected the controller to my computer, which is right there. I connected it the same way that I did with the PlayStation 3. I connected it to a USB port, actually USB 2 port, a USB 2 port via micro USB connector. I'm going to connect it to my PlayStation 4 controller. Just like so. Now it's connected. I should be able to use it. So I'm just going to set the controls. This emulator. Let's go to input, set, left. For select, I use the share button. Start, I use options button. Options and share. Okay, now it's connected. So the controller's working. Every aspect of it is working. So what I want to do now is I want to connect it or make it wireless, use the Bluetooth connector. So what I want to do is I'm going to disconnect the micro USB cable from the PlayStation 4 controller. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the button just like I did with the PlayStation 3. Press share and that. Now it's connected. So now the controller is not connected to any cables, and I should be able to use it. I don't have to configure any controls or anything. So from now on, if I want to just connect to my PC with a wireless Bluetooth, all I have to do is press the PlayStation button and share, and it should automatically connect. So I'm just going to test this out to show you that it does work. So right now I'm just using this controller. Press start. And I'm using it wirelessly. And you could do this with the PlayStation 3 controller as well. I tested it with a PlayStation 3 controller. It worked just fine. Usually the PS3 controller doesn't work on a PC. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna get out. So usually the PlayStation 3 controller doesn't work on a PC if you just plug it in via USB port, but it works with this adapter. Okay, thanks for watching.